Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to the 1985 baseball season feature game selection show. You're probably wondering to yourself, Phoenix Knight, what do you mean by the feature game selection show? One thing I want to clarify right off the bat is this show is not going to be about selecting between season ticket or inside pitch. You may have noticed a poll up on the channel where I'm letting you guys voice your opinions on which system you want the 1985 replay to be in. That poll is not going to be the final word on the question, but I will take those votes into consideration. Let me see where things stand on that poll. 15 votes, 60% for season ticket, 40 for inside pitch. So that's where things are at on that. Like I said, that poll is not the final word where I'm going to be like, okay, season tickets, so it's like, I'm not going to say, okay, season ticket won the poll, so it's going to be in that system. It's more likely going to be, I'm more comfortable in season ticket, and that's where the poll went anyway, so we're going to go with season ticket. But that's a little bit rambly on that. I expect to make that decision probably in November. Anyway, the purpose of this show is I'm dividing the season into schedule blocks where I'm going to play one game per, I'm thinking 4 days of baseball right now. What we're going to do in this show is we're going to go through and select the featured games on the channel. So I've actually got Fast Score up on my, I've actually got 1985 Fast Score up. Now I've got it up on my other monitor. So we're going to go through that and actually pick out some of the feature games. Now I have two parameters that I want to stick to on this selection show. The first thing I want to do is I want to feature each stadium at least once in the season, which should be easy enough to do. The other thing I'd like to do, if I can possibly swing it, is I'd like to feature at least one game with the 1991 World Series MVP in Zane Smith. I know he was a Brave in 1985. I've done a little bit of research on that, so we will have to look for an Atlanta game on that. Now, if you're watching me live, thank you for stopping by tonight. And this is going to be a little bit more of a chill stream, where this is going to be like a hangout stream, and we're going to do an AMA kind of thing here as well. Now, for those of you who are wondering, what do I mean by an AMA stream? So if you're a regular on the channel, you know during Pino with Phoenix, which is my end of month recap show, I actually have a segment on there called Ask Me Anything, where you can ask me questions that you want me to answer, and as long as I don't deem them to be too personal, I'll go ahead and answer them. In terms of what I think is too personal, just use a little bit of common sense. There's no real hard and fast rules around it, but again, just use a little bit of common sense. If you wouldn't want it asked of you, don't ask it of me. That's kind of the parameter I've got there. And similar to how you get a question on for the AMA segment during Pino with Phoenix, here in chat, if you want to leave an AMA question, if you want to leave a question for me, tag it with an AMA, just so I know it's not part of the banter that you guys might get up to. Leave a question with an AMA tag on it, and I'll come back to it. I've got Fast Score up on one monitor. I'll have the chat up on the monitor in front of me, so I will be able to keep an eye on everything here. With that, let's tab over to Fast Score, and we'll go ahead and get started with this feature game selection show. So opening day for the season is going to be April 8th, 1985. We see we've got 5 games on here. We've got the Texas Rangers at the Baltimore Orioles, the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, the Cleveland Indians at the Detroit Tigers, the Toronto Blue Jays at the Kansas City Royals, and the Montreal Expos playing the Cincinnati Reds. And I think for this one, we're going to go with the Indians and the Tigers right off the bat. So we're going to start off with Bert Blyleven against Jack Morris for opening day. So that's actually schedule block 1. I'll count down for 4 days of baseball. Fast play the rest via Fast Score Baseball, and then we're down to April 12th as being the starting day for block 2. And if there's a game in particular you guys want to see played, go ahead and leave a comment with that in the chat as well. I'm not going to do all one team, though. Like I said, I want to feature every single team at least once, every single stadium at least once during this replay. And in fact, I'm going to make some notes on my sheet here that I'm using to track whether a team's been selected. That one's going to be the Expos. No Diamondbacks, no Marlins, and no Rockies. All right, so we've picked the Indians and the Tigers. So Indians away, Tigers home. So we'll be featuring Comerica Park probably at least once. So jumping down next to April 12th, which would be the next date of the schedule. Excuse me, I want to see if I can zoom this in a little bit so it's, a bit easier to read. My zoom is down here. So looking at April 12th, we've got the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles, the California Angels and the Oakland Athletics, Minnesota Twins and the Seattle Mariners, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Texas Rangers, San Diego Padres and the Atlanta Braves, Montreal Expos and the Chicago Cubs, Philadelphia Phillies and the Houston Astros, Giants and the Dodgers, Reds and the Mets, and the Cardinals and the Pirates. And I think I'm going to feature the defending World Series champions from 1991 in this block, the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we'll have a visit over to Three Rivers Stadium in 1985 as the Cardinals take on the Pirates. So that's a home game for the Pirates, away for the Cardinals. Then we'll count down, let's see, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and April 15th will be Block 3. Tax Day in 1985. We've got the White Sox, we've got the White and Red Sox, the Angels and the Twins, Mariners and the Athletics, Reds and the Braves, Phillies and the Cubs, Astros and the Dodgers, Mets and the Pirates, Giants and the Padres, and the Expos and the Cardinals. I think for this one, I'm not necessarily going to alternate between leagues either. I don't think that's going to be a hard and fast rule that I go with. But I think here we are going to go to the American League this time. And we'll go with Tom Seaver and Bruce Hurst. So the Battle of the Sox, essentially, the White and the Red Sox. So that's Block 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then April 19th will be our next block. Scrolling down for April 19th. We're looking at the Mariners and the Angels, the Red Sox and the White Sox again, Royals and the Tigers, Rangers and the Brewers, Indians and the Yankees, Twins and the Athletics, Orioles and the Blue Jays, Astros and the Braves, Giants and the Reds, Cubs and the Expos, Mets and the Phillies, Dodgers and the Padres, Pirates and the Cardinals. I think here we're going to go to the Dodgers, not the Dodgers, we're going to go to the Mets and the Phillies for this one. So we'll feature a matchup between Dwight Gooden and Steve Carlton. That will be our Block 4 feature game. Block 5 will start with April 23rd. Then April 23rd, we'll be looking at the Athletics and the Angels, Brewers and the White Sox, Tigers and the Indians, Mariners and the Twins, Red Sox and the Yankees, Orioles and the Rangers, Royals and the Blue Jays, Reds and the Astros, Phillies and the Expos, Cubs and the Pirates, Braves and the Padres, Dodgers and the Giants, and the Mets and the Cardinals. Let's see, so we went with the National League game. Again, we're not going to go hard and fast, but I think we are going to go to an American League game this time, as we'll pick out the Seattle Mariners and the Minnesota Twins for our feature game. I've got, in case you're wondering how I'm marking these, I do have a paper copy of Fast Score that I'm marking the feature games on. So I'll go back over to digidugout.com and print off the historical score sheets so I can use those during the replay. And that was April 23rd, so April 23rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, which will bring us to April 27th as Block 6. So thank you guys for stopping by tonight, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay. So looking at April 27th, you can see the games here. I've not been marking off my mark sheet, so let me back up a little bit. That was a home game for the Red Sox and away for the White Sox. In block 4, I went with the Mets and the Phillies. Actually, that was... Hold on. Got to reverse that. I've got a sheet where I'm also tracking home versus away. Mets are away, Phillies are home. And then for that one, we've got Mariners on the road, Twins at home. And then we're about to pick our 6th feature game for Block 6, which is on April 27th. Looking at the lineups here, I think we just picked an American League game. So we'll see about going to the National League. And I think we're going to go with... We've already got the Cardinals on an away game. So I think we're going to go to... We're going to go to the Padres and the Dodgers. Yeah, let's go to the Padres and the Dodgers. Padres are the away team in this one. Dodgers are home. Then counting out another 4 days, 27th, 28th, 29th, 27th, 8th, 9th, 30th. So May 1st will be Block 7. We'll scroll down for that. And here we're going to go with... Here I'm going to feature the American League champion at home. So we're going to pick the Milwaukee Brewers and the Oakland Athletics. That'll be Danny Darwin going for the Brewers and Steve McCatty going for the Athletics. So we've got a Brewers away game against an Athletics home game. Let's see, then 1, 2, 3, 4 will be going to May 5th as our next feature day, as our next block day. Looking at the lineup of games here. I think we're going to go with... We'll feature the historical American League... We'll feature the historical National League champion at home, as we'll pull the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals out for that game. This is block... Hold on. I think I counted down too far. Yeah, I counted down too far. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We should be on May 5th as our next block day. So hold on a minute. Let's go back to May 5th. I think that was what I was looking at, but I marked off the wrong team. So we're going to go to the Giants at the Cardinals. So now we've got the Cardinals featured on both a home and an away game. If the historical result holds at all, we'll probably be looking at we'll probably be seeing a lot of the Cardinals later on in the season. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll bring us down to May 9th as our next feature, as our next block day. Only 3 games to choose from there. And we've already got a home game for the Dodgers. So I think here... Do we have a home game for we have a home game for the Giants as well. So I think here we're going to go with the Pirates at the Padres. That'll give us an away game for the Pirates. This is block 9. That'll give us an away game for the Pirates and a home game for the Padres. So that'll take care of the Padres. Then counting down. So from the 9th, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll bring us to May 13th as being block 10. And so what did I say? May 13th. And here I think we're going to go with... I think here we're going to go to the Expos at the Astros. We'll get a home game with Nolan Ryan on the channel. Nolan Ryan, who of course owns just about every baseball record that you could think of. So that'll be an away game for the Expos. and a home game for the Astros. Then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to May 17th as our next block day. Looking at the games here. Ooh, that's an intriguing matchup. The Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians. And we actually don't have and we actually need an away game for the Red Sox and a home game for the Indians. So guess what game we're going to? Going to the Red Sox and the Indians. Red Sox away, Indians home. 1, 2, 3, 4 will take us to May 21st as block. This will be block 12. May 21st. Let's see. What kind of game looks interesting here? What do we have for the Reds and or the Cubs? We have neither team, so let's go to the Reds and the Cubs. That should be a good one. That'll be John Stuper for the Reds against Ray Fontenot for the Cubs. So Cincinnati gets an away game. The Cubs get a home game. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking us to May 25th as our next block day. Now, what do we have for the White Sox? We have them on an away game. I don't want to give them a second away game when there are plenty of teams we haven't picked for either one yet. And I think we'll go... for this one, let's go with... I don't think we've picked Baltimore or California yet. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick Dennis Martinez for the Orioles against Ron Romanick for the Angels. This is block 13. We'll take the Orioles on an away game and the Angels on a home game. All right. And then 25th. 6th, 7th, 8th will take us to May 29th as block, what was that, 14. May 29th. Let's see here. Have we picked the Twins yet for either one? We've picked the Twins for a home game. What did we picked an American League game for this one. Let's go with, we have the Dodgers with a home game. Let's take the we haven't picked the White Sox for a home game yet, and we haven't picked the Blue Jays for either one. So we're going to go to Toronto at the White Sox. Jim Clancy for the Blue Jays against Britt Burns for the White Sox. So we'll pick Toronto for the first time, and the White Sox will be handled with their home game. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 will take us to June 2nd for our feature game for our next block day. Let's see, June 2nd, that's block 15. Looking here. What do we need for the Giants yet? We need a home game for them. Mets need a home game. Let's go with the Athletics at the Orioles. We'll take Mike Warren for the Athletics and Scott McGregor for the Orioles. So that's an away game for Oakland, home game for Baltimore. And then counting down, 1, 2, 3, 4 will bring us to June 6th, where we have a fairly limited selection of games. We need... Actually, the Pirates are done. We might be doubling up here already. Actually, we might be fine. Somehow we haven't picked the Yankees yet. So let's go with the New York Yankees at the Milwaukee Brewers for that feature game. Yankees, and the Brewers. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Will bring us to June 10th as Block 16. June 10th. Ooh, here, I think I just found our feature games. For June 10th, we are going to feature the San Francisco Giants on an away game against the Atlanta Braves. So Giants away. Somehow we haven't picked the Braves for either game yet, but I'm picking this one because this will be a start by the 1991 World Series MVP in Zane Smith. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will bring us to June 14th as our next feature day. Let's see. What do we still need here? The Expos and the Blue Jays. The Expos, the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Yankees. How have we not picked the historical World Series champion Kansas City Royals yet? Let's see. That would be a home game for the Mariners. Yep, we can take that one. So we'll pick the... So for Block 17 on June 14th, we'll pick the Kansas City Royals at the Seattle Mariners as our feature game there. Kansas City Royals are away. Seattle Mariners are home. And then 1 for the 14th, 2, 3, 4 will bring us to June 18th as our feature day. Let's see. Are there any teams we have not picked for either one yet? We haven't picked the Rangers yet either. So let's see. This is Block 18. So let's get the Rangers on the channel next. We'll put them... I think we are going to start doubling up teams for feature games. So we'll take the Seattle Mariners at the Texas Rangers. That will be... That's June 18th. That'll be Bill Wilkinson going for the Mariners and Frank Tanana going for the Rangers. Based on the scores there, that should be a shootout, but we know whatever system we pick will probably have a mind of its own. 2, 3, 4 brings us to June 22nd. Let's see, scrolling down for June 22nd. And again, if there are any games in particular you guys want to see as I'm looking at the lineup, go ahead and leave them in the chat down below. So right now I'm looking at June 22nd. I'll have hover the cursor over that. I'm just going to look at my list here. Expos, Blue Jays, Yankees, Royals, and Reds still need a home game on the board. So I think with that in mind, let's see, June 22nd, I think we're going to take the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, I'll take the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. Al Nipper going for the Red Sox and Ron Musselman going for the Blue Jays. So that'll give the Blue Jays their home game. Red Sox will take another away game, and that's block number 19? Yes, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. June 26th will take us to block 20. Looking at my list here. Let's see, I'm still looking for the Expos, the Yankees, the Royals, and the Reds for a home game. And I see of those teams, Expos, Yankees, Royals, Reds, I see only the Reds with a home game in this block. So we'll go with the San Francisco Giants at the Cincinnati Reds for block 20. Giants and the Reds. Mike Krakow going for the Giants against Tom Browning for the Reds. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 will bring us to June 30th for block 21. June 30th. And I see that the Yankees have got a home game, and I'm fairly certain the Yankees are a team that we need. So I see Yankees and Royals. Yeah, Expos, Yankees, and Royals we still need. And on June 30th, Yankees, Expos have home game. Actually, all three have home games. Who do we need for a road game? Rangers, Twins. I'm not as hard and fast about the road games necessarily. Actually, the Dodgers need a road game as well. They're at home for this block, though, so I think we're going to go with the... I think we just picked the National League game. Yes, we just picked a National League game. So, let's go with the historical World Series champion Kansas City Royals hosting the California Angels. Ron Romanick for the Angels against Mark Gubicza for the Royals. Or Mark Gubicza. I probably just butchered the pronunciation of that. So Angels on an away game, Royals home. And 1, 2, 3, 4 will bring us to the 4th of July as being block 22. So I'll scroll down for that. Okay. Let's see. We still need to get the Expos and the Yankees home games. Yankees are at home against the Twins. The Expos are on the road. So I think we'll take the Minnesota Twins at the New York Yankees. John Butcher for the Twins against Ron Guidry for the Yankees. That's Twins away, Yankees home. 1, 2, 3, 4. July 8th will bring us to block 23. And I think the last we need... Okay, so we need the Expos. The Expos are the last team to need a home game. But they're on the road this week, so we're going to get a double up here unless we can find somebody who needs a road game. We need the Rangers, the Dodgers, the Astros, the Tigers, the Cubs, and the Braves with road games. And the Rangers are on the road. So we'll go with the Texas Rangers at the Cleveland Indians. Mike Mason going for the Rangers against Neil Heaton for the Indians. One from the 8th. So 1, 2, 3, 4. July 12th will be block 24. So July 12th. And we still can't find a home game for the Expos. That happens to be on a block day. So are the Dodgers on the road? They are. How about the Astros, Tigers, or the Braves? Astros are at home, Braves are at home, Tigers are at home. So I think we're going to take a Dodger road game as the Los Angeles Dodgers in block 24 will travel to Chicago to play the Cubs. Oral Hershiser for the Dodgers against Dick Ruthven for the Cubs. So that'll be the Dodgers road game. Cubs with another home game, and we need the Cubs on the road too. This paper's not wanting to cooperate with me. 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to blow us through the All-Star break to July 19th. Let's see. The Expos are playing at home, so I think we're going to take that one. We're going to take the Houston Astros for block 25. We're going to take the Montreal Expos hosting the Houston Astros, and I think now, just going to look at my list here real quick. Oh, I think I crossed out a home game for the Mets, so we actually need the Mets at home as well. Count 1, 2, 3, 4 to July 22nd, and I already see on paper that the Mets are at home for block 26. You just count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to go to July 23rd, right? 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd. So, yep, 23rd. This is block 26. Are the Mets still at home? They are. So we're going to take the Cincinnati Reds at the New York Mets. So Cincinnati Reds will get another away game. The Mets will get their home game. And now we've featured every stadium in 1985. So counting out 1, 2. So starting from the 23rd, 1, 2, 3, 4 will bring us down to July 27th for block 27. I'm going to schedule feature games into September. Once we get into September, I'm going to be a little bit more picky at that point about the games I feature, because at that point I'm going to hang on. I'm going to pause this for a second. I just saw a call, so bear with me. Give me a second here, guys. We'll continue the selection show, but I need to sort something out real quick. So bear with me for a second. Okay, back to be right back. Sorry, got something urgent that I gotta sort out. Sorry for the delay there. I saw something that kind of made me panic a little bit, but I think I got it all. I think I've got it all sorted out now. Just gonna check that. Okay, where were we? Oh yes, I think we were just about to look at Block 27, which is going to be July 27th. And like I said, I think we've featured everybody here. Now I want to see about getting some road games for teams that we haven't put on the board yet. Let's see, we need Tigers, the Cubs, and the Braves on the road, all three of which, are on the road for Block 27. But I think we're going to lean into the... Oh, looks like we need the Phillies on the road, too. We're not going to get them, though, I don't think. So I think we're going to put the... I think we're going to take the Tigers at the Twins. Randy O'Neill going for the Tigers, and John Butcher going for the Twins in that game. Tigers on the road, Twins at home. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to take us to July 31st on Block 28. And we still need the Phillies. Still need the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Braves on the road on July 31st. The Phillies are the only team on the road, so we'll take the Philadelphia Phillies at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Phillies on the road. Pirates at home. 1, 2, 3, 4. Will take us to August 4th for block 29. We need the Cubs and the Braves on the road. And neither one of them is on the road in this block. So I guess we're going to look for the best possible matchup without pushing too much. So I think we're going to go with Tom Seaver at Joe Cowley. So the White Sox at the Yankees. So White Sox are on the road. Yankees are at home. 1, 2, 3, 4. Will take us to August 10th for block 30. And we've got the Cubs on the road. We also need the Braves on the road, which we get that as well. So we'll go with the Braves and the Giants. Actually, does that give me... I don't want the Giants on the board 4 times already. So let's go with the Cubs and the Mets then. That'll give us a Cubs game on the road, and the Mets will get another home game. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 will take us to August 14th for block 31. We still need a Braves road game, so I think we'll take the Atlanta Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers, even though based on fast score results, that is probably going to be a blowout. So I want to be here. So that's the Atlanta Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 will bring us to August 18th for block 32. And let's take a look here. All right, so that's August 18th we established. So now I think we've got everybody featured at least once on the road and at home. So now I start wanting the best possible matchups. So I think here we've already had Nolan Ryan on the board once. Let's see. I don't want to overload any team either. I'm trying to keep this as even as possible. Mike Terranova, welcome in. So a little bit of background on what I'm doing here is I'm going through the schedule. I'm going through the schedule for 1985, setting up the feature games. Actually, let me explain a little bit more about how the season is going to work so hopefully this will make a little bit more sense. I'm going to play, the way I'm going to do the schedule for my 1985 season replay is I'm going to divide the season into blocks. I'm going to play 1 game per 4 days of baseball. We'll have 1 game featured in whatever system I decide to play it in, whether it's either season ticket or inside pitch. We'll play the one main game in that system. Then I'm going to fast play the rest via fast score baseball. What I'm doing here is I'm going through the schedule and I'm picking those feature games out for the blocks. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it'll make more sense when we go through actually picking the game here. So I'm looking at the schedule. We're on August 18th right now for block 32. I'm going through here picking out, and my neighbor's at it, I hear. Anyway, must not be happy with fantasy football. So the game we're picking out here is the game that's going to be featured when we get to that point in my 1985 season replay. Hopefully that word salad kind of made a little bit of sense. There's a method to the madness in my head anyway. So looking at block 32, trying not to overload too much of anything here. We have not featured the Athletics very much, or the Angels. Let's take a guy who's got a surgery named for him, Tommy John surgery. So we'll take the Athletics against the Angels. The Athletics will be on the road. The Angels will be at home. Let's see, counting out the next 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4 will bring us to August 22nd. I'll also stop picking out blocks when I get into September, because I want to pick those. Because I want to start picking those games on the fly, and I want to feature only the teams that are actually in the pennant race at that point. So now we're at August 22nd. I'm also trying to keep the board games the feature games as even as possible, because that is going to be the first tiebreaker in determining stuff for the playoffs, for seeding, division titles, stuff like that. So, let's see. For August 22nd, we're going to go with... I don't want to give the Red Sox a third home game. Yankees will have their fourth game if I pick them. Royals have not been featured often, but the White Sox are going to have 4 games at that point. How about the Orioles and the Mariners? That'll be the 4th Mariner game. Cubs and the Braves. We're going to probably start overloading a little bit here. Cardinals and the Astros. Yeah, we can do that one. That should be a blowout based on fast score. So we'll take another away game for the Cardinals and a home game for the Astros. I'm also trying to feature each stadium in the system in 1985 at least once. I've managed to do that already, so now I'm picking out games that look interesting and trying to keep things on the board as even as possible. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Going into August 26th for block 34. And if there's only a couple blocks left, but if there's a game as I'm looking at the schedule that catches your eye, feel free to leave it in the chat, and I'll probably pick it out if something in particular catches your eye. So I'm looking at August 26th right now. Let's see. Twins would get their 4th. How about the Brewers and the Indians? The Indians would get their 4th and a 3rd home game. Don't want to do that. Rangers and the Royals. I think that's the one we'll go with. Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals. I realize I'm kind of picking these rather quickly as well. Texas Rangers are away. The Royals are at home. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will take us to August 30th. And then that will actually carry us into September. Great season. Glad to hear that. You're seeing the Dodgers and the Mets on the 26th. Let me just make sure that's not going to overload us too much. Yeah, I think we're probably going to end up with the tiebreakers a little bit skewed, but we'll change it up here. And we'll go with the Dodgers and the Mets instead. So we'll go back to my tracker sheet. We'll go... So, right, we're taking a road game away from the Rangers and a home game away from the Royals. And we're going Dodgers on the road, Mets at home. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 will bring us to August 30th and block 35. So let me scroll down there. Let's see here. What looks like it's going to catch my eye? Well, since Mike got to pick a game that we're featuring on the board, Kevin, since you've been kind enough to stop by, August 30th, 1985, is there a game here that particularly catches your eye? I'll let you have a pick on one as well. So I'm looking at August 30th, and just to explain a little bit, I don't know how long you've been watching, Kevin, but the way I'm doing my season is I'm dividing this season into schedule blocks of 4 days. I'm playing one feature game per 4 days, and then playing the rest via fast score baseball. So that's the way the season is going to work. And actually, just to make up for the game that I pulled away, if nothing catches your eye, I'm inclined to give the Royals and the Rangers a board game back. Just reversing the circumstances. So I'll give you about another minute or two to gaze over the schedule. But if nothing catches your eye, we're going to go with the Royals at the Rangers. So we're just going to reverse what the feature game would have been last block. Also, if you guys haven't voted yet in the poll already and you want to potentially influence the system I decided to do the replay in, whether season ticket or inside pitch, I do have a poll up on my channel where you can vote to see which system you want the 1985 replay to be in. I'm not necessarily going to use that poll as the last word on which system I do it in. But when I go to make the final decision, I will take those votes into consideration. So hopefully, again, that made a little bit of sense as well. Two, three, four. And September 3rd will be block 36. All right, we'll give Kevin Hayes about another 30 seconds, I think. And then we'll see what game is catching Mike's eye. When am I going to start playing? The 1985 season replay, the opening day is going to be January 1st. So a little bit of backstory while we wait to see what game catches Kevin's eye. I did go through a 1991 season replay. I was doing a lot of baseball testing back in March, and I was getting ready to do a replay, but I ended up getting sick in the immediate aftermath of baseball testing. So I moved that 91 replay, off the channel. I did the entire regular season off the channel in the same way that I'm doing this replay. The only difference between this replay and that one is that the blocks were 5 days long, where I fast played everything else via fast score. But at ID Jester's suggestion, who's been a great friend of the channel, I moved the 1991 playoffs on channel as a final test to see if I could make the schedule cooperate. Everything went well. And I went into a little bit of a longer off season because I wanted to get to a schedule where I did 2 seasons a year. I was going to have a winter season that starts in January, and a summer season that's going to start in July. The winter season is going to be what I call an executive pick season, where I pick the season that gets replayed, and then in the summer season, you guys are going to help me pick that season via season selection and reveal shows. If you're familiar with how RJL Network does it, you're going to see a lot of similarities to how I'm going to do that. So that's how things look. Again, to answer your question, that's a very long-winded way of saying 1985 is going to start on January 1st. And there also will be a demo game beforehand, which will help me knock some rust off. So hopefully that word salad made sense. So Mike, what game is catching your eye? As long as I'm not overloading too much, we'll probably go ahead and do it. I apologize for yawning like crazy as well. You watch RJL. He does a great job with inside pitch. The last couple times I've played inside pitch, I've been kind of unsure about it to the point where one of them had a meltdown. I had a mini meltdown in that game, which is part of the reason why I'm so warm right now to moving that, because 1985 was originally going to be an inside pitch, but after the meltdown, I started preparations to move everything to season ticket. And right now, hopefully I won't influence the poll, but that's where I'm leaning right now in terms of which system 1985 is going to be in. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and make the executive pick here, and you're saying Oakland at Detroit or Houston at Seattle. Let's see, Oakland at Detroit or Houston at St. Louis. I think we are actually overloading both of those teams a little bit. That'll be Oakland will have their 4th board game with that one. Detroit would have their 3rd. Houston and St. Louis would both have 4. So sorry to say, but this one I am going to overrule just to keep the balance a little bit, and I am going to go with the Royals and the Rangers. So I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to keep the board as even as possible for both for all the teams, since I expect in the pennant race we're going to see a lot of the same teams. So I'm trying to keep basically up to September as balanced as possible. So that's a road game for the Royals and a home game for the Rangers. Since the board record is going to be the first tiebreaker. It'll be board record, then runs on the board, and I don't think we'll have to go to a further tiebreaker than that. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 as I counted that out. September 3rd will start Block 36, and that's where I'm going to call the season. That's where I'm going to call the feature game selection show. Like I said, the plan here is I'm going to pick the feature games for September as we go, because I want to focus on the teams that are in the pennant race at that point. So that will do it for this very long, probably very boring, admittedly, 1985 feature game selection show. I realize it's not the most exciting thing in the world to watch me scroll through Fast Score to pick out the feature games for the season, but the idea was more like a chat stream where you guys where we could hang out and chat a little bit, but unfortunately, it was a pretty quiet night, but I don't mind that too much. But thank you guys. But Kevin, Mike, thank you guys for both stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll see you guys around on the channel. Quite a bit of busy stuff coming up on the channel. As far as what's scheduled on the channel, Wednesday we're starting a new background campaign in Hero Realms. Saturday, Mystical Munchies. Actually, Saturday I'm going to announce something else, but Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the official Diablo cookbook with the entree, Necromancer's Broiled Fish. And next week, we're continuing the fall campaign in Astronight's Eternity. What I'm going to announce for Saturday is, because Saturday is going to be an entree, is going to be dinner for the week, I'll be doing Mystical Munchies in the afternoon. Saturday morning, I'm expecting to have a stream of Stratomatic Baseball. That'll probably start at about... I'm going to try to start that about 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish. We'll see how the schedule plays out. But look for me to try... the earlier I can start that, the happier I'll be, because I know I've got some other things going on Saturday, but I do want to try to do a stream of Stratomatic Baseball on Saturday morning. So thank you for watching this video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.